All right, many of you guys have been asking about how I judge how I'm going to be fishing in the area, especially because I fish below a lot of local dams. One of the main things I do, especially with the TVA river systems around here, is I use the TVA Lake Info App. You can see it right here. I'm going to click on the app. You can download this on the PlayStation Store. You can download it in the Apple Store. And it gives you a list of all the lakes that are within the TVA system. Now, a lot of people can look at it and just get a general idea, but they don't really know how to read it. So with this video, I'm going to try to touch base on some of the key things to look for when I'm looking at the conditions that I'm going to be fishing and how I can use those. So, of course, you can see the blue stars on the right hand side here. That is all my favorite lakes. So, as you can see, I'm in southeast Tennessee, so it's kind of evident there. Now, say if I'm going to go fish Chickamauga, today's Tuesday, I'm going to go fish it in 2 days. So I'm going to click on Chickamauga, and it's going to pull it up. Now notice, it says, please note, water release schedules often change without notice due to anticipated changes in weather conditions and power system requirements. That is true, because I've used this app before, and it not be the correct water flow. I'll be below a dam, and then they'll kick on a turbine they're not supposed to kick on for another 2 hours. Just be wary that this is not always, fact of the matter here. So now, if you look at we'll start at up the top here, generation releases. They're going to be running, so, okay, I'm talking about tomorrow, so 3:14 from midnight to 1 a.m. and they're going to be running 2 or more turbines. So, as you look, it'll give you a timeline of the last 3, 6, say 9 hours of flow. So as noted above, right here it says Chickamauga will be spilling until further notice. So as you can see on the right, it says average discharge. That's how much cubic feet per second of water they're flowing out of the dam. So 84,000 cubic feet per second is your discharge. Now, your tailwater elevation, I'm going backwards right to left here. That is how high you are, like feet above sea level below the dam. So 642.5. And reservoir elevation 676.60. So that's feet above sea level. So now, okay, I'm wanting to look at 3:14, so I'm going to go down here to my predicted data. 3:14, your average inflow is going to be 69,000. Your average outflow is going to be 70,000. Now, with your average outflow, that's exactly what that is. The flow they have will average 70,000. So, technically, they could run 60,000 for half the day and then 80,000 the other half of the day, and that will equal your 70,000. So, what you need to be wary of, that on a smaller scale lake or a smaller scale dam, that they will actually have 1 turbine, 2 turbine, 3 turbine, or no turbines running. I'll show that here in a second. So now, okay, I've looked through this, and this got me these sections here. So I'm going to go down to the bottom right hand corner where the little bars are here. Now I'm going to go look at operating guide. All right, your operating guide shows you the water level. Okay, if you look at the header or the key right here at the bottom of the graph, it shows you 2017 elevation, your operating range, which is where they will try to keep it at during these parts of the year. You can see how it trends. And your headwater elevation, that's a new term they're using here, but anyway, that's your elevation of your lake above the dam. So your guide curve, that's kind of where they want to keep it at. And your spillway crest, I can't tell you, I don't have a clue about that one. All right. Lake levels, info, lake news, that's just some regular jargon there. So I'm going to go back to lake levels. I'm going to go back again. It's going to pull up my lakes. Now, let's go to Ocoee number 1. Love floating the river there. That's one of the best places just to get together and float down the river, have some fun. All right. If you notice at the top, Ocoee is also spilling. So they're going to be spilling 2 or more from midnight to 1 a.m. on 314. Again, there's your last several hours and what your average flow was. And then your average outflow is pretty much all the same. All right. Same as Chickamauga. Let's go see if we can find a lake that's actually spilling on and off. Let's go to Appalachia. It's spilling. All right, let's see here. Hiwassee. All right, there we go. That's better. Hiwassee. Now this, as you can see, the generation releases. See how you have different ones? So from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. on 313, no generators. So if you're going to go up there and you want to fish the pools where there's no water flow, that'll be the time to go, between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. 1 a.m. or 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., there's going to have one turbine running. So at that point, say if you're wanting to catch some good eddies and flows there instead of just dead water, that way you can fish that. 5 a.m. to 11 a.m., it's going to be hammering down, kind of leave it alone. Now 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. they shut down to one turbine. That would be a good time to fish in the evening, because the water will not be too rough and it's going to be just pretty, it's going to be settled. So let's go down and look at the flows. Now you can see the fluctuation in the flows from 5 p.m. to midnight. 3,700, and then at 8 p.m. you can see they kicked up a couple more turbines, because that's 7,900 on the flow. 9 p.m. and then you can see they turn turbines back off. Now, predicted data, you can see the outflows are different. So on 315, they're only going to be flowing 3,800. So that's going to be an average for the day of 3,800. So you could run 1,500 for part of the day, and then whatever the other top end makes that average out. I'm not a mathematician here. Anyway, folks, I hope this kind of helped you understand this a little bit. Again, you can bounce through all the areas here. Of course, we're all flowing. They're spilling all the way down through Watts Bar, and it gives you a little picture of the lake. Shows your average outflows. Now, as far as Chickamauga, let me go back to Chick, because everybody's really hot on Chickamauga right now. What I like to fish, if Chickamauga is running pretty much wide open with no floodgates running, you're going to have an average discharge of around 45 to 48,000. If they're running just a few turbines, your outflow is going to be around 27,000. Now, when I'm fishing bottom side, I like my flow to be around 27,000. That just seems what's more comfortable for me to fish below Chickamauga. Up top, if you want to fish the ledges or something for catfish, you want that flow to be around 45,000, because they're going to be pulling pretty good current down the river. Now, of course, if it's dead water, when you have dead water, for Chickamauga, 7,000, I think, is about the lowest you're going to see it below Chickamauga. That's a good time to get in there and throw a rig around or something below the dam. You can catch some pretty good smallmouth that way. That's just a few things to look for. So I hope this video works for you guys. I know it's kind of lengthy, but I hope that helps you understand a little bit better on the flows here. Now let me pull up Nickajack here. I hadn't added it to my favorites yet. It should be on there. This is they've redone the app. Now I'll show you the difference between Chickamauga and Nickajack. Remember the operating guide for Chickamauga? It had that big curve in it. We'll go to Nickajack. See how it's just straight across? Nickajack typically does not have a range. You can see your reservoir elevation to the left side here. You've got 3 feet is the whole width of the top to bottom. It's not going to fluctuate much at all. All right, let's go to Chickamauga again. Go to its operating guide. If you look to the left here, that's 13 feet of fluctuation versus 3. So you can see summer pool versus winter pool. This is actually alive. That's pretty cool. It moves with you. So during the summer, you want to be at 682 feet above sea level. During the winter, you want to be at 676. So you can see the vast amount of movement we have here between winter and summer. All right, hopefully that helps you guys understand a little bit better. And pretty much that's how you use the app. I'm sure there's several other little things you can use, but that's kind of the way I use it. and hopefully you guys can understand it a little bit better, and hope this video's helped.